shadows of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light. Readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light. Readers and seekers in the night.
Good morning again. Good morning, Maureen. Good morning, Jenny. And welcome to the My Tarot Morning Reflection, Daily Inventory, chance to check in with the universe, all that wonderful stuff. So I did not have a chance to poke my head out the door today, which is kind of what I was talking about yesterday, which leaves me looking over my shoulder, but it does look nice out. Again, it's just one of those things where I am glad I have an excuse to just slow down in the morning. So, good morning, Jenna. So what are we doing here? We are finding a reason to just stop. A reason to just kind of check in with the universe, or as I like to say, where the universe holds up a mirror. I'm throwing cards around. Where the universe holds up a mirror and asks us, what do we see? And we can use the tarot as that reflection. So, I have actually written some of this darn newest direction for a book. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Good morning, Angelina. And I'm actually wondering, because I'm actually kind of liking it. It's not just, here's the definition of a card, but literally going through the last several years of videos and pulling the definitions and the explanations directly from videos, which means live explanations, not using a book, not using, and if I can just finish it, I really need to do that. I think it would actually be a good video series or a good podcast, because it's not just 2 or 3 paragraphs. It's each one of these is turned into a chapter of, you know, the cards and who we are. So I'm saying this to put this, as I say, it's like when doing a tarot reading. Manifesting, things don't become real until we put it out there. So by talking about this and putting it out there, it's no longer just in the back of my head. Same way the magician does it. You know, the magician comes up with an idea, but it's a card of action. If we don't take that idea and do something with it, as above, so below, or, you know, bringing thought to life. So, so where am I at here today? I am listening to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. Triggering that light switch that says, oh yeah, okay, let's go into that mode. Check in with where the feet are, rolling the ankles. Oh, that feels good. Having the butt do the kitty dance. Checking in with the shoulders, see where the shoulder meter is. Because I can tell I was already a little bit hyper this morning. Check in with the neck. And I'm dropping my energy level about 20 points here. So we can get into that mode and see what the universe does have for us today. So, what am I going to do here then? I'm going to make our 3 stacks. It's like each one's a different thread going out to the universe. It's like each one's a different thought or idea. And if we believe in a multiverse, it's as if this stack will lead us down one path, where this conversation is a totally different conversation in a totally different direction from this one. And the question is, which string do we want to pull? Which path do we want to go down? And today, let's go with the center, or what I like to think of as what is right at the heart. There's that extra breath. Ugh. And so I'm going to do our 3 and 1. So, what I'm going to do is flip each card over one at a time like we're reading the pages of a book. And today our first card is the 3 of Wands. So, wands are the element of fire. Wands are fire, passion, energy, action, movement, creativity. One wand is our idea. It's our thought. It's, I want to do this. 2, we're making choices on how to do it. 3 is when we decide to follow a direction. 3, like in a triangle, like an arrow. So when we get to 3 of Wands, these are things that we may have started, things that we wanted to do, and maybe even put some effort into it, but we're not done yet. We may have started. I was talking to Mina, and it's like she starts a knitting project, puts it down, and that's the 3 of Wands. Then she'll pick it up later on, and she might finish it, or she might do something else. It's the same thing with me learning a song. So 3s are when we are putting our fire and action and effort into something. And then here we are. We have our court card, and court cards can be us, could be somebody else, just part of the situation. They're not male or female. It's masculine energy, feminine energy. You think I might have said this once or twice, but the thing about the court cards, there are personalities, right? So when we get a page is somebody that we send to court because they're young, they're open to learning, they're fresh. And then we have the knights. The page wants to learn to be a knight. Knights are the element of fire also. Knights are passion, action, movement. They're the first ones we send into battle. So this is a card of fire of fire. It's the Knight of Wands. So it's not only starting something, but it's also what are we going to do with it? And carrying it just like he's carrying this wand, carrying it forward. And it's curious to see what this knight is looking at. Which is the 7 of Swords. So again, a page, young, open, fresh, wants to be a knight. And a knight, that is all the fire and energy and passion. But when you think about a knight, he's not a king. A king is cerebral. A king is planning. A king is the element of air. A king is mature. A king, but a knight sometimes just jumps into things without thinking about it, right? A knight will, since we're talking about wands, could jump into a relationship just because of the passion and the heat. Well, we have relationships with lots of things, whether it's deciding to buy a sports car or whether we get all excited about the next thing, or, we start a project at work, we run with it, and then we burn out. Because what is fire? Fire is, at one point it's flaming, and other points it burns out. So what do we do when things burn out? So when we have the 7 of Swords, okay, swords are our thoughts, our ideas, and sometimes our anxieties. They're the element of air. So 1 sword is an idea. 2 swords, we're making balances. We're thinking about things. We're making choices. 4 swords is when we actually have a chance to take a breath and a rest. We're moving from 1 to 10. 5 swords are always a challenge, and that's where that knight can come in, because we have this idea, we want to get these things done, we move. 7s are about potential, drive, ambition. But by the time we get to the 7 of swords, we've gone from 1 to 4 to 5. We had the challenges of the 5. We realize maybe whatever we're doing is not all about the knight. We've burnt out. So what is it that we have started, whether it's a job or whether it's something around the home? You know, we wanted a garden, but we didn't want to have to weed, did we? You know, relationships. We want the passion, but then we also have to accept the other 360 days out of the year because it becomes a relationship. When we get to the 7 of swords, sometimes we're just tired. Sometimes, you know, I talk about halt, hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. The 7 of swords is when we, you know, have you ever had that situation where you do something and afterwards you go, what was I thinking? Why did I do that? What is going on here? The 7 of swords is that regret that we can feel, because sometimes we take shortcuts. Sometimes we put in all this fire and energy in the wrong direction. And like I like to do personally is I like to try and do 80% of the work in the last 20% of the time. And so by doing that, I end up sometimes getting frustrated, taking shortcuts, lying, all those things that sometimes that's just not us. So today, as we look at this, what is it that we put our energy into until we burn out? And then we cover up, we do things we normally wouldn't. Are we doing it now in a relationship? Are we doing it now at work? Are we doing this because we created a garden and now it's become weeds? We all do it. We put effort into something and then we don't feel like doing it any. Making a promise to do something. Making a promise to, you know, Mina's never done this, but I think it's an example, because knitting would take, you know, a month, but making a promise to create a sweater, and you get started with it, and by the time we're done, not physically, but mentally, because we don't feel like doing it anymore, we make excuses, we say what's going on, we say, oops, you know what, I'll just finish it next month. These are minor cards. This isn't like the big major destiny cards. But these are the things that we are currently making excuses for. Things that we maybe promised to do and haven't. Actions that we should do but don't feel like it. Should go to the store, but I'd rather Mina go to the store. I don't feel like it. Even if I said I would. You know, I want to cook. Actually, I don't want to cook. But you know what I'm saying? Those things that we make promises for. Things that we don't follow through. But let's see the advice card. And again, it's one of my favorite cards because it's one of the cards that says, okay, stop. Take a breath. This is the 7 of coins. So coins is the element of earth. Coins are home, health, finances, and what? All the things that help keep us grounded. This is a card of slowing down. This is a card, If seven's about progress, sevens are potential, drive, and ambition. Seven of coins reminds us, since it's earth, what happens when we plant a seed? Nothing. You can stare at that seed as much as we want, and it's not going to sprout any sooner. We can dig it up every day and wonder, why isn't it growing faster? And when it does grow, how come it hasn't blossomed yet? The Seven of Swords, or the Seven of Coins, reminds us about pacing, giving time, doing things one step at a time, and realizing, we can control our garden as far as what we plant in it, but we can't control always what and how it grows. So today, look at the things that we have started or going to start, things that have frustrated us because we haven't saved the money quick enough, or we haven't, the things that cause us to react and say later on, I was just tired, I don't know what I was thinking, I made that promise and maybe should not have. And Maureen's saying gardens have been a real penance for me this year with no end in sight. Exactly. We plan the flowers, but not the weeds. And so we react because of the unexpected. So today, it really is just about what is the things that's frustrating us that we started and they don't go our way. And about taking a breath and taking that step back so that we don't have to deal with that reminder that says, if you don't enjoy something, or if you're frustrated, or if you're tired, don't do something that's going to make you have to come back and say you're sorry to yourself or to other people. Take the step back and even let them know about the Seven of Coins and say, look, need more time. And that's what this is about managing all the fire and energy and accepting the fact that we need more time. I think we've touched on something here with the gardens. This is perfect reflex of what I'm dealing with, school, work, commitments. 40 cubic yards of mulch. I will conquer the weeds. Yeah, you've got this, Maureen. Oh my goodness. That is the Seven of Coins. That is our focus for today, giving time, and then putting in the effort one step at a time. So thank you all again. Take care, and I will be back here again tomorrow.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems.